Welcome to This Week in Berkeley Heights, brought to you in part by the Alternative Press of Berkeley Heights, a weekly newscast providing our residents of Berkeley Heights with news, events, and information around town. My name is Bobby Peer, the publisher and editor of the Alternative Press of Berkeley Heights. This Week in Berkeley Heights has been frigidly cold all week long. The police department and fire department recently responded to a burst water pipe causing damage to a vacant retail space and adjacent businesses in the New York Marts shopping center. The police and rescue squad also responded to a 4-car accident where the 4 drivers were transported to area hospitals. The reorganization meeting was held on January 1st for the Township Council, naming Jean Kingsley as new council president and Craig Pastor as the vice president. Ed D'Elia and Tom Perrone have been sworn into office for another 3-year term. Councilman Kevin Hall has been named on the planning board. Tom D'Elia has been named as the new fire chief. The Township Council has asked that cars not park on the streets during snowstorms to help with the efficiency of the snow removal. Mayor Joe Bruno signed a proclamation naming January 11th each and every year as Human Trafficking Awareness Day and handed it to Marlene Sincaglia at the January 7th Town Council meeting. The downtown clock has been ordered and will be installed by Memorial Day. The clock face sponsors are Dean's Greens, the Berkeley Shopping Center, the Connell Company, and Summit Medical Group. The base plaques are currently being sold for $300. This is a way for families or businesses to have a permanent spot on Berkeley Heights' newest landmark. 100 plaques will be sold on a first-come, first-served basis. The Board of Education held their reorganization meeting, and Doug Reinstein and Helen Kirsch were nominated for presidency. The vote resulted in a 3-3 tie. Marianne Walsh was absent from the meeting, and Mountainside Representative Jean Parker could not vote. The decision will now be decided by the county superintendent. There was a college forum for recent graduates of Governor Livingston on Monday, January 6th. Superintendent Judy Ratner acted as the moderator, and Principal Scott McKinney and Athletic Director Ann Clifton were present. 13 students attended and provided feedback on the different subject areas, athletics, extracurricular activities, and prepared them for their college experience. They also provided suggestions on how to better prepare current students. From the discussions, Mrs. Ratner hopes to put a survey together for all graduates to provide their input. This Week in Berkeley Heights will be filming at the upcoming Super Saturday event on January 11th, sponsored by the Highlander Booster Club. Events to include kids' pop music show featuring Taylor Swift, an impersonator, pizza dinner, family pancake breakfast, basketball games, wrestling matches, fencing matches, and an ice hockey game. Governor Livingston winter sports are in full action, and we look forward to providing an update at Super Saturday. We will be right back with more of This Week in Berkeley Heights, where we will be speaking with League of Women Voters President Marlene Sincaglia. Stay tuned.
Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me.
I think it might be one of the monitors.
Are your parents home later? We can hang.
LUV love you. JK.
Holla back. Holla back. Holla back.
Are you with your friends? That's lame.
We're in a huge fight right now. XO.
What'd you dream about?
Something I did. Are you on your way to the
I'm
mall?
lonely.
Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Welcome back to This Week in Berkeley Heights. I'm Bobby Peer with the Alternative Press of Berkeley Heights. I'm here with Marlene Sincaglia from the League of Women Voters of Berkeley Heights, New Providence, and Summit. Welcome, Marlene. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Bobby. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm glad that you could make it. Can you tell me a little bit of the background of the League and how they influence Berkeley Heights and get people involved with the League?
Well, the League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization. Basically, we do not support any individual candidate. What we do is we encourage informed and active participation of the citizens, so we want to make sure that the residents of Berkeley Heights, New Providence, and Summit are informed about the candidates or about different issues. So we sponsor different forums, we study the issues, and we try to influence public policy through education and also advocacy, not only on a local level, but also on the state and national level as well.
And has this group been in Berkeley Heights for a period of time, or is it new to Berkeley Heights?
Oh no, the League is long-standing in Berkeley Heights. In fact, I joined, it was in 1992, and the League had been around a long time before I got there. And after a while, the League and Summit decided that they could use some more people helping out on various issues. And so the leagues joined together, and since New Providence is right in the middle, we invited New Providence, who had a league at one time as well, to join. What happens a lot of times with civic organizations, they tend to, the membership gets older, they tend to die out a little bit, and then there's like a resurgence, and hopefully we're in that step right now.
Now, how do you get new members? Is there a way of contacting you? Or?
Well, we're always looking for new members. First of all, although it's the League of Women Voters, and it's a copyright issue, you can't change the name, we do have male members, and we encourage men and women. You have to be from 18 years old, so the year that you can start voting, up until whatever, to become a member of the League. You don't even have to be a resident of Berkeley Heights, New Providence, or Summit. We do have some members from Basking Ridge and from Westfield who don't have leagues that are members of our league. And to join, we have a website, and that's the easiest thing. And the website is lw-bhnps, all together, .org. So League of Women Voters, LWV, BHNPS, Berkeley Heights and Providence Summit.org.
Oh, great. So people can go to the website and find out your next coming meetings and events. Now, do you meet on a regular basis?
Yes, we basically meet once a month. We meet in New Providence at the New Providence Memorial Library in their Conti Reading Room. And generally, we have a program. We try to have programs. In March, we're hoping to have a program with Union County government, have one of the freeholders come and speak to us. And in April, since it's the Earth Day, and so it's a big environmental month, we'll be having a speaker dealing with environmental issue. We don't have anything firmed up yet, so I have to be pretty vague about that.
And are all people welcome,
Yes.
or do you have to be a member?
No, our meetings are open to the public. We put out announcements in the alternative press as well as the independent press, and so people are invited. And of course, it's on our website as well.
Okay, great. Well, that's exciting.
And we encourage people to come and learn new things. I mean, one of the things that we do, what's coming up in February, is a program called Great Decisions. It's a program run by the Foreign Policy Institute. It's a series of 8 topics dealing with critical issues facing America and the world. And let's see, I have some of the defense technology, Israel and the United States, Turkey's challenges, Islamic awakening, energy independence, food and climate, China's foreign policy, and the U.S. trade policy are the topics for this year. And we co-sponsor Great Decisions with Interweave. And Interweave, we run the program through the Cavalry Church, which is...
And that's in Summit?
That's in Summit. That the corner of Woodland Avenue and DeForest Avenues is there. And the cost is $95 for the whole 8 sessions. That includes the materials. And basically, it's a discussion group. It's a way of keeping your mind active and alive. If you particularly want one topic and not some other ones, you can do it on a per session basis. That's $20 plus the cost of reproducing.
That's great to know as well.
Right. And the registration is done through Interweave. You can register with a credit card by calling them, and their number is 908, of course, 277-2120. And that program will begin on February 12th. It's 8
consecutive weeks.
Well, it's not exactly consecutive because March 5th is Ash Wednesday, so we don't meet that night. But it goes from February 12th to April 9th.
And it covers the whole gamut of domestic and foreign,
Yeah.
so that's great information.
Yeah.
And what other events does the League have coming up?
Okay. Our fundraiser for this year, we are working in conjunction with the Summit Playhouse.
Okay.
They've allowed us to sell tickets to their play, The Last Night of Ballyhoo, on February 22nd. It's an 8 o'clock performance. The play was written by Alfred Urey. He's the Pulitzer Prize winner, author of Driving Miss Daisy, and this is part of his trilogy. It's the second part of the trilogy. And it's a comedy, a little bit of romance as well. It takes place when Gone with the Wind is premiering. Hitler has just marched into Poland, and it seems that this family in Atlanta, because it takes place in the South, is more interested not in world affairs, but in attending Ballyhoo, which is the social event of the season. And the father of the family has a new employee from the North. So it's the interaction of what's the North being more in tune with what's going on in the world and what's, in their terms, more important than just a dance, and it's that friction that plays off.
Okay. Now, I did see on your website that there is a little bit of a social before the play, so it's nice to combine a nice event with a social.
Yes, that's true. We, for the price of the ticket, which is $25, we offer a pre-theater party. It's going to be in the home of one of our members in Summit, and the location is rather close to the Summit Playhouse, which is located right off of Springfield Avenue and Tulip. And to get tickets, you could just call me, Marlene Cicaglia, at 908-464-1988. And there'll be information on the alternative press, information on our website. There'll be flyers in the community as well to talk about getting the tickets.
Well, that's great. You're a very active group, which is nice to see in the area. Now, recently I was at the town council meeting on January 7th, and Mayor Bruno made a proclamation that January 11th each and every year will be Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Can you tell me how that came about? I know the League was involved with this.
Yes. The League of Women Voters decided that it's to study the issue because human rights is a very important personal freedom, and autonomy and human trafficking is a gross violation of your basic human right. And so a group from Montclair, the League in Montclair, did a study, and I mean it was quite long, considering that who is against human trafficking, I mean, who is for human trafficking, I should say, everybody is against that. We did a program in November in conjunction with the AAUW Summit College Club and the Junior League of Summit on human trafficking. And we had speakers from the New Jersey Coalition Against Human Trafficking. We had the special prosecutor from Union County speaking as well. And one of the things was to make people aware of human trafficking. People just don't understand that it's happening in your own neighborhood, and it's your own kids, right? And especially now with the fact that we have the Super Bowl coming up in February, and whenever there's a large sporting event, be it the Super Bowl, World Cup, Olympics, there seems to be more human trafficking becomes more prevalent, especially with the sexual area. Human trafficking also exists with forced labor, and New Jersey and the southern part of the state does do quite a bit of agriculture, so that's a possibility as well. So the League asked Mayor Bruno in Berkeley Heights, Mayor Brooke Hearn in New Providence, and Mayor Ellen Dixon in Summit to sign the proclamation making January 11th Human Trafficking Awareness Day, and that every year there's going to be programs to make sure that this topic doesn't just go away, because people think, oh, well, you know, the Super Bowl is just this year and that's it and it'll die out. But we want to make sure that it's something that people will become aware of, and that things can be done, and that eventually the people involved will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Right.
Obviously.
And you know, have the legislature. We have tough laws in New Jersey. I mean, we had the Coalition Against Human Trafficking worked very hard to get some very tough laws passed in New Jersey.
Now, has Trenton stood behind this proclamation? Is it?
Well, the idea is to get the state, these individual municipalities in the state to sign on, and then say, okay, everybody has signed on, or 95% have signed on. New Jersey, please sign on as well, and then on the national level as well too. Plus the fact, one of the things that why the league got involved is the league can't advocate for any issue unless they've studied an issue, and it goes to consensus of all of its members. So that was the big reason why we had to do a study this year before we could come out and say, okay, we want to get involved with the organization Coalition Against Human Trafficking. And so that we did the consensus. So now we can advocate for the legislation, advocate for an awareness day, for programs. And again, the whole idea is inform the public. That is our main mission, is to have an informed public.
And I know that the posters that I've seen said "not in my backyard," and it can happen in everyone's backyard. So Marlene, what will be the next event for the League?
Well, the next event is a book discussion. We started a book club this year through the League, and our second book is entitled "It's Even Worse Than It Looks." It's a review of the history of dysfunctional government, and the authors even suggest remedies. So that will be the topic of conversation. It's going to take place on January 29th. And it's going to be at the home of one of our members, Sharon Davis. She lives at 61 Possum Way in New Providence. And everybody, you know, people are welcome to attend. You have to read the book, but it should be very interesting, especially with coming up in February with the government, and is there going to be another budget crisis or not? So it's very timely.
Topical, yes. Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much, Marlene, for coming in today. And I learned a lot about the League and all of the events coming up. So I appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you so much, Bobby.
And we will be right back.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
I'm Bobby Peer with thealternativepress.com. We are a 24/7 source of news and events about Berkeley Heights. Visit thealternativepress.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and if you have any news tips or suggestions, you can contact us at bpeer@thealternativepress.com. Good night, Berkeley Heights.